In question 14, I need to complete the square to find the vertex of this, y equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 10. Now this is a tricky one because that 2 there makes it really hard to complete the square. So our first step needs to be to get rid of that. Now how do we do that? Well, we need to divide all 4 terms, we've got 1 on this side and 3 on that side, divide them all by 2. That gives us a y over 2 here, which looks a little bit clunky, but we can figure that out later and adjust for it at the end. Meanwhile, that's tidied up this side nicely, so that then my next strategy would be I would leave a line and think I want this sort of shape. I need x and I need some brackets and I need something squared. Halving the minus 6 gives me minus 3. Then I come back to the middle line and expand that out, and I get x squared minus 6x easily enough. But I also get 9, because when you have this arrangement with a minus 3 there, the 9 kind of comes along for the ride. Now 9 wasn't in our question, so a sneaky trick here, I take it away again. It's almost like it was never there. So I've added 9, but I've also subtracted it, and then I need to put the 5 in that was in my original question. Next, just compare these 2 lines. Check they're the same. Yep, the only difference is the plus 9 and the minus 9. They cancel out to make nothing. Then check these 2 lines are the same. Now you wouldn't have put your minus 4 in yet. So at this point you'd say, well, these 3 terms are contained here. But I've got my minus 9 and my plus 5 still sitting on the end. And they add up to minus 4. So that's what you have. Now you want your function in vertex form. Okay, so you want y equals some stuff. And we've got y divided by 2. So we can fix that by multiplying everything by 2. Now be careful. There's one thing on this side, but there's 2 parts to this side. You need to multiply both of them by 2. The first one you can just whack a 2 out the front. But the second part, make sure you've also doubled that. Now that it's in this vertex form, we can read the vertex straight off. X minus something will be the x value, and we've taken away 3. And then whatever number is tacked onto the end, positive or negative, that will be the y value of your vertex. Now it asks us to graph the parabola showing the vertex and all intercepts. So we've got our vertex. We can put that in straight away. Now, our normal steps still apply. First step is to think about the concavity, and this 2 that's out the front of our formula tells us that it's an upright one. We can find the y-intercept is 10 by going all the way back to our original question and seeing that when x equals 0, y will equal 10. That's the easiest way to do that. To find the x-intercepts, we need to let y equal 0, and you can do that with your vertex form that you found already up here. There's no need to go all the way back because otherwise there'll be too many steps to do. So go ahead and sub 0 in for y, and then you've got an equation to solve. Add 8 to both sides. Next you can divide both sides by 2, and that gives you this. And now take the square root of both sides, and then add 3 to both sides. Now you've got the plus and minus 2 here when you take the square root of 4. So you need to add 3 to both those numbers. And when you add 3 to the minus 2, you get 1. And when you add 3 to the 2, you get 5. And that makes sense that we've got 1 and 5, because if our axis of symmetry was 3, obviously they need to be an even distance away. So those little sort of double checks just help you make sure that you haven't made a mistake. Now we've got a back to front question here. A parabola has a known vertex, and we know another point that it goes through, and we need to find its equation. Now, if you know vertex form, then start by writing that out, and then you can just pop in what you know. We know that h is 2, and k is minus 1, so subbing those in, we're most of the way there already. And in fact, this is the formula for a whole family of parabolas that go through that vertex. Now we need another clue so we can find which member of the family we're looking for. And this is our clue here. When x is 1, y equals 4. So if we plug that x value of 1 in here and the y value of 4, we can then solve it for a to find out what it is. So write y equals 4 and x equals 1, and we get this. Minus 1 squared is 1, so we've got one lot of a, minus 1, and a works out to be 5. Now we can just rewrite our equation with the a value in there that we've found.